everybody. This is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Korner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective, and this is episode number 70. I'm very excited because I have two guests on today. One is on for the third time, then the other one is a first-timer. But I'm excited about this being number 70 because we're getting close to 100. I won't get to 100 episodes by the end of the year, but we'll make it sometime in the middle of the first quarter next year. Yeah. But I always start off the podcast by saying, if you are a real estate agent or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area and you'd like to be on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com. And I can't do the podcast if it wasn't for my team, my support staff, Jennifer Smutis, the area president. Sorry, Jennifer. Devin, Caitlin Cornick, the escrow officers here in the Sugarland office, and the newly crowned escrow officer, Kate Cannon, in the Richmond office. And our support staff, assistants, funders, everybody. You guys are great. So, in saying that, let's get started with episode number 70. If you watch my podcast regularly, then you know who this is.
Hello.
She is the only person that I know that looks like she's from around here, but speaks a language that she's not from around here. So we'll get into that. So this is Irene Uribe. Say hey, everybody.
Hi, Irene Uribe. Thank you for having me again, Kevin.
See there, you get the accent? It's a clue. So, yes, she's been on here for the third time. And she, first of all, is a bundle of energy, so don't be alarmed. But she is, I don't consider you a brand new agent anymore because she just got her first listing under her belt.
Yeah, and contract.
Yeah. But tell everybody who you are, who you're with, and a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name's Irene Uribe. I am with Next Home Luxury Premier. We're out at the Galleria, and I'm under the Prestige Texas Living team with Sed Oglesby as my lead. And
I was going to ask you if you wanted to give Sed.
Yeah, always. He's such an amazing trainer.
Still have to have lunch.
Yeah, Sed, we got to do this.
We got to do this. It's free food, man. Come on.
Yeah, and I've been a realtor for a little over a year now, and I feel like it's starting to happen. Today I got another contract for a lease, so things are great.
That's two right there.
Yeah.
So tell everybody a little bit about yourself before and now that you're in real estate, what you were doing because there's another side of this lady that you don't know, and when she tells you about it, you're going to get really excited. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm also in the acting or in the film industry. So I'm an actor. I'm also a film producer as of a couple weeks ago, by the way. So I'm producing a couple movies now, I'm part of the producing team.
That's new.
Very excited. But I do a little bit of everything when it comes to film. I've actually really found a passion in behind the camera as well. I've always had a little bit of a passion in front of the camera. But I had been, an actor ever since I was in my early 20s. Didn't do it for a while. I went off and settled down, had some children. And, it was time for me to kind of get back into working. So I chose real estate, and real estate has opened up so many opportunities for me. And I think the fact that I've had that, you could say personable. Am I personable, you'd say?
Oh, yeah. She's very personable.
I hear that a little bit. Sometimes I'm a little too much, I hear as well. But, the fact that, I just like talking to people and having conversations and getting to know people. It has been so good in both of my fields of work. So it's a great opportunity.
So now that you're in the acting world, but you're in real estate now for a year, what is it about real estate that you like?
I think just going out and getting to know people. What I like most is, I like taking people out to see their, the houses. The first thing, when they tell you what they want, you got to take down those details. The little things that they tell you, whether it's a specific color or a size big backyard, right? Or if they want to be near a park, you have to really look at those details, because when you take them to show them a house and you see their face and they're wowed,
it better be what they're looking for.
That is what's more gratifying for me, is really listening to people, because if you really listen or read between the lines, it's really what how we help people out, right? So
Yeah, and after a year of it being in the industry, you've met more people in 1 year than you ever thought you would in this industry, from vendors to brokers to salespeople, agents, people like me. What is your impression of the industry? Was it what you thought it was going to be when you got in it? Were you completely shocked, or were you like, what in the world did I get myself into?
well, one thing that I've learned over this last year is how fluid it is. It's always changing, always. The market's never the same, or they change the rules, or, there's something going on with the rates, right? And it's never the same. And I think that that's the important thing to be a successful realtor. You have to learn how to adapt. Adaptability is very important. So you kind of have to be a little chameleon in there and just keep learning. Having or taking those CE classes like the ones you teach have been very helpful in continuing to learn what's going on in the industry, all the changes that are probably going to change again. And, I think that that's the important thing, is adapting to it. And I mean, was it what I expected? I know that when I purchased a house back in 2020, there was like everything we would make an offer and there was already 10 offers in, right? When the rates were very low. Yeah. So I thought it was going to be something like that. And I was very wrong. But, the fact that it did slow down allowed me to really study and learn and be better prepared for what's coming. And then sometimes it feels like when you study and learn, then they change things again. Right. And so, again, adapting is vital. That's the important thing. One thing I've learned, I suppose, in this industry.
If you don't change, then you're going to be left behind.
That's right.
And you mentioned something about it slowing down. What is now that you've got a year of the industry under your belt, what is your opinion about the current situation in the market that we're in right now?
I think with all
being somebody that has 2 contracts right now. So
okay.
A lot of agents don't have 2 right now. So.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of hard work to get here. And I think that the process itself, I appreciated it because I was learning and I'm still learning every day. With every transaction, you come across things that, your trainers tell you it's going to be a certain way. And then you're like, and then you get, it's just completely different. I'm like, well, what do I do here? And so listening, I'd say right now, the way things are, it's looking promising. I think since it's maybe an election year, it's kind of one of those things where people are kind of wondering to see what's going to happen.
Right.
And, with the rates going down a couple weeks ago, we're starting to see a little bit more motivation from buyers that are wanting to go out and purchase a home. Whereas before, they were unsure.
Yeah, I think if once we get through the election and it's over and behind us, not trying to talk about who wins or who's should or something like that, but just getting the event over. With, I think people will get more comfortable with whatever we're going to have to deal with for the future, and they won't get back to normal, but people will start coming out of their shell and making that decision or taking that step and taking that chance. And with interest rates coming down, I do think it's going to help. I think we're going to sit for the next 30 to 45 days. Then we're going to get into Christmas. But I think 2025, regardless of what happens, is probably going to be a better year than most people think. If you're preparing for it, if you're working, if you're creating your marketing, if you're going out there getting for leads. So, which leads me to my next question is, now that you've been here for about a year, you and I have been working together. We continue to work together. What is it that you're doing? How did you get these leads, and what are you doing to market your business?
So one thing that they stress is just go out and meet people organically because that's how people are going to get to know you. So anywhere you go, you could have a conversation with anyone, right? Everybody needs a place to live. So
where'd you hear that from?
I think it was from you. Was that right?
Yeah.
So, hey, always, I take good notes. And going out, and whether you're at a restaurant, working from a restaurant, or going out to events, volunteering opportunities, going out to different events within the community, get to know your neighbors, talk to them, ask them, what they like, what they want to do. For me, I've found a lot of success in just doing that. And then once you kind of build a little bit of, you get to know more people, right? adding them to your CRM, having that CRM going and having them on campaigns is vital. Social media also has been very, very important, successful for me.
You do a very good job at social media.
Thank you. I learned that from him as well.
She's on social media more than I am, so.
Well, because you told me to.
I told you 3 times a day, not 30, but it's okay.
I'm working on it. I have a fun day, Kevin.
You
what
do.
can I say? I have fun days, and I like to share that with people.
Yeah, she's, and I think pretty much all you do, or most of what you do, is just videos. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so.
Videos and pictures.
Is there anything that, now that you're established with a new brokerage, or not a new brokerage, but a new team. And we want to say hey to Brian Bartholomew. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Brian.
And you got a year under your belt. You figured out how to market your business. Is there anything that you might want to do in the future that you're not doing now to market your business?
You know, I think a lot of what I would like to focus on is just going out to bigger events in the community. Right now, I had just been staying kind of small. You know, I was growing. I was learning, how to communicate with people when it comes to real estate. I wanted to make sure when I had a conversation with someone that I knew what I was saying, that what I was saying was correct. So a lot of this is why I stress education has been vital to what I know now. I've spent a whole year educating, within our brokerage, which, by the way, Next Home Luxury Premier is great at education. They really, really stress that there. Our broker owner, Candace, is one of the trainers for Next Home. So she just has it's a very, very good thing that I get to have her as one of our leaders. So we've learned a lot from her. And so educating yourself, know what you're talking about. And if you don't know, then just be honest and tell them, I'll get back with you, or it's something I have to research. But getting out there, now that I have that training, just getting out there and just being in it.
You got over a nervousness of, I'm a new agent, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to try anyway.
That's right.
You got over that.
Think so.
And now you just jump into it whether you're right or wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I try to be right. And if I know if I'm going to be wrong, I just don't say it. Or at least, I like to come back and just say, hey.
But my point is you're not afraid to fail anymore.
Oh, yeah, no.
When you first started, you didn't want to fail because you thought it would look bad. Now you're like, if I fail, I'll fix it.
I'll fix it. That's right. That's right. And I think, it's important to take that approach with anything you do in life, right? I actually talked about that in one of my social media videos earlier. You got to shoot your shot because if you don't shoot, then you won't score. So you might miss some shots, right? But if you're not shooting those shots, then you will never score. So as long as you're out there and doing the activities, it might not be a great day, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday might be great days. Those might be the days that you get your best leads for the month, right? So I think consistency, knowing now that you really have to be consistent in this industry, always doing the work, because eventually, it'll start to happen.
Yeah, there's days that I go home and I'm like, what did I do? Nothing happened today, no contracts. And then I come in the very next day and there's 5 waiting in my inbox and 3 people calling me on the phone. And, yesterday I got into a really large brokerage for 3 dates on the calendar that I hadn't been in a very long time. And so every day is different, up until about 2 hours ago, it's been pretty slow around here today.
Yeah.
2 hours ago, 2 contracts came through. So, you just have to roll with it. You get down, you get upset, you get frustrated about things, but get up the next day and do it all over again because you'll get different results.
Right. If
you don't keep getting up, you can never get those results.
That's right. And I think that's the beauty about this business that I actually really like. That it's never the same. You're never going to have the same situation. Right.
Yeah. Every day is a challenge. So tell everybody a little about what. Let's say I'm out there and I decide that I want to sell a home or buy a home or lease a home or whatever, and I go online and I type in excellent real estate agents in Houston, and I find your stuff online, and I call you. What's an initial conversation like, or even an initial meeting like with Irene as far as real estate goes?
Well, anytime I get a phone call from anyone, before we get to business, I need to get to know you a little bit. In this industry, it's not just, it's a collaboration. We're working with each other. So I needed to get to know a little bit about your needs. What are you looking for? What do you like? And that's what teaches me exactly what you're looking for, essentially, right? And so getting to know the person a little bit, having, even, asking about family, asking about, all those details. That way it kind of gets to know them as a person, not so much a transaction. Because that's what I want. I want to get to know you as a person. It's not just going to be transactional for me. That is the beauty of this.
You want to be friends with your clients.
Yes.
Relationship. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And how could you not want to be friends with this personality? Okay.
I will always be there. I love to talk. So if you need somebody to talk to, I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Love to talk, and I like to hear people talk, which is the important thing. Listening to people is very, very important. So if you're not listening, then in this industry, then you're doing something wrong, I feel, because then you're not really listening to the needs of your clients. So
I agree with that. So let's give everybody a surprise, and let's let them hear you speak in another language.
Sure.
Go.
Mi nombre es Irene Uribe y trabajo con Next Home Luxury Premier aquí en Houston, Texas. Mi número es 512-851-7884. Me encantaría ayudarte. Aquí estoy para servirles en cualquier pregunta que tengan acerca de lo que podemos hacer aquí en vender casas, en ponerlos en un apartamento, en lo que necesiten.
So I know you guys heard her say her last name at the beginning of the podcast with that little accent. But if you didn't hear her say her last name, you would never know by looking at her that she speaks fluent Spanish.
Very fluent.
So there you go. She's from down in the valley, closer to the Mexico border in the Mexico country. So she's got all that blood in there and all of that stuff. So if you speak Spanish and you require, or just prefer to speak with someone that speaks Spanish, don't be afraid of,
Háblame.
that she has purple hair. Okay.
I already gave them my number.
So that's a plus. That's what sets you apart. So tell everybody in English how to get a hold of you.
So again, my name's Irene Uribe, and my number is 512-851-7884. I'm here to answer any questions you have. There's so many real estate questions, and I know sometimes it could be a little intimidating, but that's what we're here for. That's why we're the professionals, and I would love to help you. Either find a new home, or if you need to sell a home, or if you're looking for investments, we do all of that. We're also doing a little bit of commercial as well, so if you have any question in that area as well, I'd be happy to help.
Awesome. So thank you for being on the podcast again for the
Thank
third
you, Kevin.
time.
Thanks for having me.
And she won't be the last. She'll be back probably 2 weeks from now.
I will be back.
But don't let her personality or the fact that she's only been an agent for a year scare you. She's doing a great job.
Thank
Only
you.
1 year. She's already got 2 contracts under her belt. She's got a lot of things going. She is an Energizer bunny when it comes to the real estate industry. So
That's right.
you'll have a great time. You'll get what you need out of a real estate agent from your Irene. So give me your phone
That's
number
right.
one more time.
Number is 512-851-7884.
Awesome. So thanks for coming on again.
Thanks,
We're going to take
Kevin.
a quick break, and we'll be back with segment number 2 of episode number 70 of Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective with NIta. Be right back.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. This is Kevin, your host for Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective, and this is episode number 70, segment number 2. We are back. We just got done talking with Irene, and now we are here with NIta. This is NIta's first time on the podcast. She's a little nervous, so don't freak out.
I won't.
So say hi to everybody, NIta. Tell them
Hi,
who you are.
everyone. I'm NIta Chauhan, and I've been a realtor for 20 years, and I'm with ERA Legacy Living here in Riverstone, Missouri City.
Awesome. So I know ERA Legacy Living. Tell everybody a little bit about the brokerage.
Okay, it's a global, international, and national brokerage. We have offices all over the world, literally. And so basically my broker has 3 offices in this Houston area. And basically it's a really They have all the system within the office, all the training, all the everything that you need is in this office. You know,
And
so training is
do you
phenomenal.
want to mention the broker's name?
Oh yeah, my broker is Jamila Winsey. She's been a broker like for over 20 years. So she's really, really good when it comes to training, when it comes to helping. I can get her anytime, 24/7, if I need.
Yeah, and I haven't lately, but I've used to teach there on a regular basis. So I kind of need to reach out to her. But I know Jamila, and I know several other agents at your brokerage. So let's talk about you.
Okay.
So if you've been an agent for 20 years, what were you doing before you became an agent?
Okay, before I became an agent, I'll go back a bit. I got married very young in London, England, and I had children, so I didn't really work. I did my marketing degree prior to that. You came to USA in 2001, and then from there I was working in a marketing firm. Gradually, I decided after 3-4 years, let me look into real estate. So I got my license, and that's where I started my real estate business in 2003.
Okay. And why did you choose real estate as opposed to
Okay,
something
so
else?
my very, very first job in London when I was 17, after graduating from a college, I actually got a first job in Causeway Estate offices. It's different in UK than it is here, but it's the same kind of concept. You know, you sell homes and you don't have an individual realtor. You work for an office. But that was my first job, and I was selling high-end homes, and they wanted me to go out and start showing. And so I was there at a very young age as a secretary, and then moved on as a negotiator. They call it the realtor. So basically, from then I thought, oh my God, you know, this is really interesting. But then I got married, and everything else happened in between. So then I came to USA. I was working, and I thought, let me look into how real estate works here. And that's when I got into it, because my passion is people and my passion is homes, real estate. I love it.
So if you've been an agent for 20 years, you've probably seen everything. What kind of agent are you? What's your favorite type of transaction?
Okay, my favorite transactions. Oh, I love first-time home buyers. They're so innocent. It's really nice to help them out. But I've actually worked with all kinds of people. I've done commercial, residential, luxury, investment people. I've worked with all walks of life, all kind of people. And I've got about 4,000 people on my CRM, which I actually keep in touch. And they're my friends, a lot of them. And that's how I get a lot of my business from, my past clients.
So she said something, we're not talking about marketing yet, but 4,000 people in your CRM. That's key, folks, okay? That gets you residual business over life. That's what helps you become an agent for 20 years.
Exactly.
Right.
You have to keep in touch with your past clients and love them, and
past clients and anybody else that you've come in contact with.
Of course.
Whether they've hired you or not. Because sooner or later, they're going to need something.
And you put them in. I mean, I get leads from all over the place, HAR, Realtor.com. I get leads from everywhere. And I don't even buy leads at the moment, but I get leads from everywhere, which I instantly, after I spoke with them and find out what they want, what their needs are, is it now, is it in 6 months, I put it, boom, in the CRM.
Yeah.
And then keep in touch with the campaigns and all that.
Have you always been with ERA?
No, I was I started off really. This is a good story. I started off with Prudential Gary Green. They are now Berkshire Hathaway, I think, but they had the best training. The best agents came from the ethical agents. That's what I learned a lot of my, real estate business from. And then after that, I went into Remax, several different offices in Remax. And then I was with Jamila. She was with Remax when I joined Jamila. And then 3 years on, she decided to move her whole office to ERA. So I stayed with her because she's such a good broker.
Awesome. And so I'm sure you'll help anybody with real estate anywhere all over the city of Houston, but what part of the city of Houston and the surrounding area do you concentrate on?
Okay, I usually concentrate on southeast, southwest, west, Heights, downtown, those kind of areas. I have sold in Baytown and Woodlands. Actually, I have a contract just today in Willis, and I sold one in Porter too, new build. But yeah, so basically that's what I do. I do all over Houston, like you said, but these are my areas: Richmond, Katy, Sugarland, those areas.
So there's not really anywhere in the city of Houston that you won't go to.
I even sold in Dallas. Because we can do that now. No, I actually have. My son's actually buying home there too. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into a little bit about some marketing stuff. So over 20 years, you mentioned the CRM, and you've made all kinds of relationships. What are you doing, or what have you done up until this point to generate leads and market your business?
Okay, I have in the past used bought leads. I have done that with some companies, which I got a lot of clients out of. Prudential initially had this lead system that we used to get leads from. Jamila has leads that she provides. Usually I love people. I love talking to people. So anywhere I go, and I just start talking about real estate. Even my hairdresser, even the nail place, and I have my cards ready, and that's how I make a lot of people. My nail salon, I got a client who was an investor, so there's a lot of ways I do marketing, networking, at the moment, investors galore. I mean, there's investors all over the place. So when you go to this marketing, these wholesale marketing, networking events, you see so many investors that are looking for this. So I've been working with that too, off-market properties, yeah.
Yeah, the one thing that she's talking about and is consistent with, and also Irene from earlier in the podcast is consistent with, is meeting people, getting out there, meeting people. People ask me all the time, "Do you have a business card?" Well, of course I have a business card. If you don't have a business card, then you're not a marketing
What are you
person.
doing? Yeah.
Exactly. If you're not ready, so you got to get out there. There's lots of ways. What else do you do?
Okay, my logo is NIta, the People's Realtor. I love people and I love talking. And like Irene said earlier, you have the key is you got to listen. You have to listen to your client's needs. And I have this knack, I don't know if it's something gifted, but when somebody tells me they're looking for this kind of property, I instantly know what they're looking for. And then I'm always right, So when we go out, they say, okay, this is it, so I get offers quite quickly. We don't have to show more. I usually show no more than 4 properties. When people say they're showing 20 and 15, I don't understand that. I only show no more than 4 properties, and that's it.
Well, maybe you're better at making sure you show them what they really want.
Exactly. I have that gift, I think, because I know what they're looking for instantly, like they say this, and I know what you're looking for, yeah.
So what is your opinion? We talked to Irene about this. What is your opinion about the market that we're in?
We always have a 7-year cycle, 7 to 8 year cycle, where it goes up and down, up and down. That's always been the way. Since this new buyers paying their own commission, agents' commission and sellers, this new law came out, people were hesitant. A lot of realtors were leaving, but you know what? It's a good thing. I feel personally it's going to be an excellent thing. It's going to be so phenomenal because now we won't have that issue about, buyers wanting commission back and whatever, So we're going to have a signed contract, signed agreement prior. So this is going to be ace. You don't have to waste time with any buyers, etc. You just instantly do this. I think that's a plus, what just happened. And then, of course, the interest rates, like earlier they said that the election year, it has been slow for me. And a lot of people, it's been slow for the up to about a month ago.
It's slow for everybody, not just you and me.
Yeah, up to a month ago. But listen, I've actually got busy now.
Yeah.
I've got 4 listings I've got.
To sell?
To sell. 4 listings.
I can't wait because I got a lot of business coming.
You have. You sure have. This guy has been phenomenal. He's helped me with things that I needed, and all these years I didn't do, which he's helped me with. And it's like the Google, ads and so many other things he's helped me with. First podcast he's got me confident enough to do.
9 minutes and 52 seconds ago, I thought she was going to pass out, but look at her.
I'm confident.
She's doing fine.
I love talking. I love it. Thank you. Kevin, you've been so good.
You got to get out of your shell.
You got to. And videos, yes, there's a lot of video marketing. Now my broker is saying when you text people, video people. So that's the next thing I'm getting onto. Social media, after you and that class, I've been doing it, not 3 times, not 30 times, not 3 times, but like I've been doing it at least once. So, at least 5 or 10 times.
Irene's smiling.
I know, at least 5 or 10 times a week. I'm trying to get the video text is done now, working with that. This is all we have to do now, social media. That's the way the life is going. So for realtors, so.
Leads don't fall in your lap anymore. You have to work for them.
Exactly.
You have to go after
Exactly.
them. And you have to get yourself out there. What I might suggest too is when you text a video, the other thing you can do, when you email a video, not text.
That's another thing, email. Oh, wow. Okay.
So when you want to introduce yourself to somebody and you want to send them an email, send them an email, but the email's got a video on it. It's you introducing yourself to them.
Perfect. See, another idea you gave me.
People do business with the people they know, like, and trust.
Exactly.
They can't see you or hear you when they're reading an email.
Exactly.
So put it in format of a video.
That's perfect. That's perfect. This is a relationship business. We're not selling any product. We're selling ourselves as a realtor. And so it's a relationship. They build a relationship, and then our friends. They become our friends, and then, they tell us everything. So it's a beautiful business. I've loved it. Even in the slow times, even in the busy times, I've loved it.
If you conduct your business right and you get people to know, like, and trust you, one person over your lifetime turns into more than one transaction.
Very true.
So
very true.
A lot of people are in business and they sell somebody something and then they never see them again. But if you do it right in real estate, you'll see this person 2, maybe 3 or 4 times over their life.
You're right.
And what happens when you create that relationship and they have kids? Now the kids need to buy.
Absolutely.
So it just kind of
it
just blossoms into this big network of clients.
Exactly. It is, real estate is a business where it's 80-20 rule. Either you work or you don't.
Yeah.
And when I first was in class doing this business, my real estate class in the beginning, very beginning, one of the teachers said to us, you will never go hungry because there'll be parties and food everywhere, but you will go hungry of business. Yeah. It's up to you how you take, how you work it. If you work it, business is there. If you don't work it, you're sitting at home twiddling your thumbs.
There are agents out there that I know they've been agents just as long as you have, and they're very happy with 2-3 contracts a year because all they do is wait for the phone to ring.
Exactly.
And if that's you, knock yourself out.
No.
I'm not knocking it all.
No.
But if you want more than that, you have to get out there.
You have to get out there.
Yourself.
You have to market, and you have to. Jamila drilled it in me. Use your CRM. Use your past people, your present, whatever. Just keep working on it, which I started, and I tell you, every time I work on that CRM, and I'm not 100% yet, but I'm getting there. It's supposed to be like 50 a day, but I'm getting there. But every time I work, I get 2 or 3 people out of it. It's like, what?
Well, why is it that you get 2 or 3 people that are in your database that you haven't heard from for 6 months, 2 years, 10 years? Why is it that you get those leads later? The answer is because in y'all's business, over 85% of the people you meet in your business every day, they don't need you the day you meet them.
Exactly.
They need you later when something in their life changes.
Exactly.
And when your conversation's over, if they never hear from you again, they're not going to call you when they need real estate because they don't remember your...
Correct.
And so it's your responsibility to remind them that you're available, not their responsibility.
It's happened to me. It's happened to me.
Yeah.
It's happened to me. If I don't keep in touch, like I had a mishap, my husband passed away, and then I've been going back to my CRM after quite a few years. And they remember me, but they said, Nita, we bought, what happened? And I have to tell them, that this happened to me. My husband passed away and I haven't been working on it. And they still remember, but they've all gone. They've all bought. But you know what? The good news is they remember me and they say, oh, my son's coming out of the army. My daughter, my friend. Yeah. So they remember you and they know how I was. They love me, yeah. You have to, yeah.
So as we wrap up the segment number 2 in the podcast today, why don't you tell everybody how to get a hold of you?
Okay, I am actually international too. I'm unique. I speak Gujarati, Hindi, Punjabi, and English.
We don't have that kind of time. But go ahead and you want to do one?
Yeah. No. I'll just do it in English.
No. Go ahead if you want to do one of them.
Okay, મારું નામ છે NIta Chauhan ને હું છે ને realtor બની છે અહીંયા 20 વર્ષથી. અહીંયા હ્યુસ્ટનમાં હું બધું કામ કરું છું all over Houston ને મારો નંબર છે 832-368-1849. હું ઇંગ્લેન્ડથી છે પણ હું ગુજરાતી છે અને મને હિન્દી પંજાબી મને આવડે છે. સો એની ક્લાયન્ટ્સ તમારા ગુજરાતીમાં બોલતા ઇંગ્લિશમાં નહોતું આવડતું બોલતા તો હું એ લોકોને ગુજરાતીમાં બધું સમજાવીશ. ઓકે, થેન્ક યુ.
My podcast just went international. Now tell everybody the same thing. But
Okay,
in
my
English.
my name is NIta Chauhan. I've been with our realtor for 20 years, and I'm with ERA Legacy Living. And to get hold of me, you can go on nitarealtor.com, my website, nitarealtor.com, or 832-368-1849. 832-368-1849. Thank
So
you.
there you have it, guys. I mean, what other podcast are you going to have someone that speaks it fluent Spanish that doesn't look like it, and someone that speaks what language is that?
Gujarati, Indian.
Indian. Okay. Nowhere else are you going to see that. So, thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Thank
for
you.
the very first time.
Thank you,
All
darling.
right.
That was very
I have a
pleasurable.
feeling you're going to be back too.
I am. I'm
she
getting
might even
confident.
she might even create her own podcast.
I might. Yeah. Yeah.
So this has been episode number 70. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you to Irene and thank you for Nita for being guests. And like I always say, I couldn't do this podcast. I said at the beginning, Jennifer Smidas, Caitlin Kornick, Devin, and Kate Cannon, and all of our support staff, the funders, the assistants, front-end managers, couldn't do the podcast if it wasn't for you guys. And if you are a real estate agent in the area and you are needing title services and you're not using Stewart Title, shame on you.
Kevin's the guy.
All right? I will find you. Until next week, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you.
Good job.